I've been working on this super nice pop-up where users can give my app some feedback, but it's missing the ratings component, so let's build that. I'll first make a component that I'll call star. Then let's add the star component to the pop-up here so that we can use the preview to see what we're building. Visually, it will be simple, just a group node that I will set to 40 pixels in width and 40 pixels in height. Then I'm going to add an icon node. I'll call it empty icon, set the icon source to be this star outline and the size to 40 pixels, and then this color here. Let's also center it vertically and horizontally. Now let's copy this node and place it here. Let's call it full icon, and let's use the full star icon. And let's also set it to be absolute, and let's do the same for the empty icon. The full icon covers the empty icon, so I need a way to control if the full icon is visible or not. So I'll use a states node for that. I'll define two states, empty and full, and make sure it starts in the empty state. Then I want to set the opacity of the full and empty icon nodes, so I'm going to define two values. Let's call them empty icon opacity and full icon opacity. These are both numbers, and then let's fill in the values like this. Now let's connect the states node to the icons, like this. When I change the state now, we can see that the star goes from being filled in to being outlined. Alright, so now we have a star component, so let's use it to make a complete ratings component. First, let's create a new component that we call just ratings component. And then this group here, I want it to lay out its children horizontally, so I'll change that, and then I'll also set it to just be the size of its children. Then let's add a star component like this, and let's now replace the star in the pop-up with the ratings component, and then go back into the ratings component. Here I'm going to add another 4 stars and just do some slight adjustments on the margin and alignment of the group. I'm going to need some logic to control which stars are filled in or not, so I'm going to use a states node again. I'm going to create 6 states, 1 state for each star that can be filled in, plus 1 state for when all stars are outlined. I'm going to name them 0 stars, 1 star, and so on. Alright, so let's say that we are in the 2 star state. I want that to mean that the first and second star are filled in. So I need to have a value for each star that I can set to be either true or false, depending on what state we're in. Let's add those values. I'll name them star 1 full, star 2 full, and so on. They should all be booleans, and let's also add a value that we'll call rating. Then let's fill it in like this. Now that the states node is done, I just need to hook it up. I want the star 1 full value to go into this star, but it has no inputs, so let's fix that. Back in the star component, let's use the component inputs node and let's add a port that we call isFull. This is the value that should control if the star is full or not, so it should control this states node. Let's use a boolean to string node to achieve that. If the boolean is true, let's set the string to full, and if it's false, we set it to empty. Those are the exact names of our states in this states node, so we can use the output here to control which state we are in. And then it should all be hooked up like this. We also need to know if this star is being clicked, so let's add a component output with the pointer down action. Cool. Now let's go back to the ratings component and finish making the connections to and from the states node. Now that we have a nice ratings component, we can take the ratings value from the states node and send it out through the component outputs. It's nice, but I'm going to add a bit of flair by going back to the star component and adding a states node that will add some animations to the star we interact with. Download the star component and maybe play around with the animation so it fits in your project. Finally, we can, for instance, use the ratings number to control if the submit button is enabled or not by using a simple expression and condition node like this.